Hello, Holistic Chamber of Commerce family. Welcome to today's Meet a Member segment. I have with me Kate Marshall, and we're going to talk about dissolving stress and finding more ease. Who doesn't want that? So, real quickly, just a brief note about Kate. Kate is a holistic coach, and one of the modalities that she uses is called access bars, which is a gentle, relaxing treatment using light touch on the head that anyone can use. It promotes a sense of ease, dissolves self-limiting beliefs, stress, anxiety, or depression, and creates more freedom in her clients' lives. And she's also going to talk a little bit more about her holistic practice, the use of herbs and other things that she does. So welcome, Kate.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and just dive in, because you wanted to talk about this modality that I think most people have never ever heard of. So why don't we just talk about what access bars are? Because I was like, oh, is that a protein bar at first glance? Do we eat it? But not that at all.
No, it is not. So what access bars is, it's an energetic healing modality. And there are 32 points around the crown of your head. And what I do is when I'm doing an access bar session, I go through different points and I use light touch around this part, the crown. And what it does is it helps, can help all kinds of things. It releases thoughts, feelings, emotions, attitudes, concerns that you have stored in your brain. And it can change, help you with stress, undo trauma, anxiety, depression, any stuckness in your life, or for example, who doesn't have body issues, it can help resolve those as well.
So is this based on a Chinese philosophy principle, like more of a Reiki? How did these points formulate?
Yes, good question. So the founder of Access Consciousness, Gary Douglas, he actually came up with this technique. He was channeling for somebody in a massage therapy session, and this is what this is what came out of that. And it's really, we have people all over the world, and it's really changing people's lives as far as having more ease, and joy, and happiness in their lives. For me, it just, I noticed, I'll share my story really quick.
That'd be great. Yeah.
I actually just dove into a class. I was so into holistic stuff that you didn't even have to tell me what it is. I was like, sign me up. And so I took this class and I got to give 2 sessions and receive 2 sessions. And I remember going home, and at the time my older son was living with me, and we were in the kitchen, and he said something to me that would normally kind of made me a little short and snappy, those things your teenagers can tell you that kind of rub you the wrong way. Well, I remember that I was completely aware of what he was doing, and what I had zero reaction to it, just none. Normally I would probably not yell, but say what did you say that for? Or what was that about? There was this pure awareness of what my normal reaction was and what I was experiencing in that moment, which was just space. It gave me space. And then I woke up, I slept great. I woke up the next morning and I didn't have that mind chatter that I usually wake up with, wondering what do I need to do? How am I going to get it done? Where am I going to go? What's on my plate today? All that was gone. And I could just be me.
Wow, so it's almost like it had an instantaneous effect. To me, yeah. It sounds like a little bit of a slowing down, right. But also just kind of removing maybe those impulses that we have to respond in a certain way.
Yeah, so it can, for me, people have different triggers because they've experienced different things in their life. For me, that was a trigger that was kind of deleted. Actually, that's one of the analogies they use on the Access Consciousness website. It's kind of like our computer does different things, goes to different websites and accumulates a lot of stuff. And it's like defragging your computer and entering and getting rid of the junk, but it's all the stuff in your brain so that you have less of that mind chatter and you can focus and not worry about the things that you don't really need to worry about.
I like that analogy, defragging, like the computer stuff I get. And, I used to practice traditional psychotherapy. We do EMDR,
cool.
which, would help, sort through trauma. And I was like, oh my God, that's like the same thing. It's like defragging the mess and making, putting pieces together. So that's a great.
And I have one more quick analogy because, it's really hard for people to wrap their brains around it until you get a session. So sessions are about an hour long. I go through the whole technique. People have different areas to work on. Like I might ask them, but sometimes I can sense it intuitively. It just really opens up a space that you've probably never had before.
So do you have to be in person? Because, massage therapy, like to get a massage, you have to like be in person. Is this something that is in person? You don't? You can do it?
You have to be in person, but you don't have to it's not like a massage where you have to, get undressed. You just, sometimes I use a zero gravity chair, which is kind of like one of those, it's almost like a reclining chair, but it's very portable, or a massage table. And you just lay down and, it's almost like going into a meditation without having to meditate. Like, it's like we do the meditating for you. You just get into this space and we do the work, we create the space, and you choose to change.
Okay, so since this is an in-person thing, where are you located?
So I can practice out of a couple different places around town. One is off of Derry Ashford. It's called Au Petit Salon. I can use.
But where are you? Like what state? What
sorry
city?
about that. Yeah, I'm in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for that. I just assume that's not the case. So I can use a massage room in a salon. There's a meditation center I can use, or I can go to my clients' houses, whichever works better.
All right. So if you're watching this and you are in the Houston, Texas area, and this sounds very intriguing, reach out to Kate because she can help you sort out whatever it is that's going on. And it looked like, based on what your bio was saying, I mean, people come to you for all kinds of reasons. Like, depression, stress, anxiety. Is that kind of like the typical?
Yes, I also do some stuff with herbs. So, so I just started having some herbal classes to kind of introduce people to herbs, share my story, share the history, and share what's possible with them, and kind of get to know what people are looking for. Because I'll keep this really brief, but I had Lyme disease, and I more or less cured myself with herbs. And I did it, it took a while. It was a process. It's if you have it severely, it's a pretty nasty health problem to deal with. But I just researched and, I taught myself, and now I'm helping others. And it's really wonderful to share those gifts because herbs, like you can go to the store and you can buy tea, but maybe you don't know what type of tea to get. Or like, if you have trouble sleeping, you could go to the store and get some lavender or chamomile. And there are, for different sleeping issues, there are different grades of herbs that are stronger and, are more potent or not so potent. It kind of depends on what your comfort level is and, what you're dealing with.
Hmm. All right, so you said like you're a holistic coach. So let's say I am
Yep.
experiencing like some anxiety and I come to you and I'm like, Kate, I'm experiencing some anxiety. I need some help. Um,
Mm-hmm.
does your program look like you kind of do both? You would help, recommend some herbs for them for that. And then you would also do this access point process. Like what is your system when
Oh,
someone
yeah.
comes with a
So
problem?
I prefer to have a consultation with somebody, just to learn more about them, where they are, what they've been dealing with, and what a little bit more about what they're open to. For anxiety, I would definitely recommend an access bar session, and see what that does, and kind of follow up with people, over a course of like a month, and see what changes, and take things slowly, because there's no reason to, like, depending on what people are comfortable with, throwing like 5 herbs at them. I never do that to begin with, but you don't want to overwhelm people. So, access bars is so simple. You don't have to put anything in your mouth. You just lay there. And I don't know what, if you came to me with anxiety, I can't predict what the outcome would be, but I can tell you that you would feel differently, probably in a great way, once you were done with that session. So, yeah, I deal with people on multiple shorter sessions. And for herbs, I might do, say, 2 or 3 sessions, and then see where we are after that, and what's changing, and do it that way.
So it sounds like it's a sequence. Like you start with the
Yes.
access bars process, and then depending on what results from there, you might use some other tools in your toolbox, which is actually quite a good idea, I think, because sometimes we're like, oh, we're feeling this way, and we start like throwing a bunch of different modalities, and I'm going to take
Right.
supplements or herbs as well, and we really don't know which tool is having the greatest impact, because we're just like throwing a bunch of things in at once.
Yeah. That. And yeah, you don't want to get the whole process too confused. And also, like, our bodies can't handle, I'd never tell people to go use 5 different herbs at once. Our bodies can't handle that. And it's too much too quickly. So yeah, it's just making things simple. Healthcare doesn't have to be the scary, ominous framework.
Now, you mentioned you had, when we were chatting before we got on live, you said you had some classes coming up or workshops or something for the
Yeah.
herbs.
So if you're watching this in the future, in late February of 2023, I'm going to have a bars class where I'm going to actually teach people how to use bars. And then every other Thursday, starting the 26th of January 2023, I'm going to be having holistic classes. And first of all, I'm going to just explain a history, my story, what herbs do what, like the function of herbs and how they can help the different parts of your body, and then kind of understand where my participants are, and maybe send them with something to try out, whether it's tea or a tincture, which are my favorites, or capsules, or give them some direction and give them something to play with immediately.
All right, so I just posted in the comments section here your events that are coming up. So if someone is interested in doing this with you, now with the herbs classes, can they participate online, or is it local to the?
It's on Zoom, and I will
Okay.
have Facebook events on my personal Facebook page, and on my business page. They can find those at Springing Spirits. That's a Facebook page. They can find those probably on my personal Facebook page, Kate Marshall, or anybody can email me at springingspirits@gmail.com.
Okay, so I'm putting that in here too. So if you're interested in taking any of Kate's classes, you have a way to reach her through Facebook, also through email.
Oh yeah, and one other one. Sorry about that. Anybody can go to accessconsciousness.com and they can search me by name, and they can come to my profile and write me a message. Or when I get it posted, my bars class will be on the website.
Okay. accessconsciousness.com. Okay. All right, that's in there as well. All right, before we end our conversation today, is there anything else that you want to share with our viewers today?
Yeah, just one thing. If you've ever been interested in taking your power back with your health, and want a few easy tips to start with, or if you have a larger issue that you would like resolved, I have a great network of people, and I have a vast knowledge of herbs and access bars, and I'm going to be learning more energy modalities in the future. There's more to access consciousness than just bars. There's some verbal processes and there's some other body processes, and I will be incorporating more of those in the future.
All right. Well, thank you for those that have tuned in today. Thank you, Kate, so much for coming on with us and sharing what access bars are and how it can help people. Yeah, so I guess have a great rest of have a great rest of your day, everybody.
You too.